about their future like I'm here to snatch their children. That line was brilliant. How I'm not already in the millions. Am I not the picture of resilience? Why they test my patience? Hyping all this lame. No one got a brain, they just be liking all the same. Is this what the I'm in on industry games? I'm convinced that nobody is speaking my language. I'm a glitter ass, so listen close when I say this. After every feel stainless. I can make a fiend go. Everything I wrote gon' smoke, so dangerous. I can make an Einstein feel brainless. But look on the bright side, hope yield changes. I'ma get it started, please give me a pardon. Cause this the type of beat that get the whole crowd marching. Time to shut it down, we make the whole town Spartan. I'm from outer space, so all my homegirls Martian. It's about to get critical, this moment is pivotal. Here to feed the streets that say my influence umbilical. We gon' make it grimy, then go get behind me. Told you I'm the best, I done said it with my chest. So for real, nobody try me.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's time for me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big crowd. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really give a fuck. Put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose the opportunity, you suck. Home made way for a prodigy.
And I say, one for the money and two for the love. We the new era, so whoever may feel they above. Live in delusion, that's an illusion, it's absent. Keep it together, don't act like you didn't know what it was. I'm on a whole nother planet, I'm about to show you. This wouldn't work if we planned it, meaning you won't understand it. We have to rings like a Saturn, this feel like splitting an atom. We got involved with the pattern, so now we up and we at 'em. Watch out for my evolution. Around and start a revolution. I am more than a being, I'm an institution. If I gotta reiterate, that's where I'ma lose it. It's my world and I'm generous and that y'all peruse it. How obnoxious, she ain't got a conscience. She's okay with being a little absurd and pompous. That's because I kill it, then stick around just to haunt it. Waiting on my thank you, be grateful that I would even let you watch this.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's time for me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big crowd. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really give a fuck. Put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose the opportunity, you suck. Home made way for a prodigy.
Gonna catch your breath for a second. Look at your neighbor and check him. We bout to march, so if you not get to stepping. I done told you who I am. I'm a force to be reckoned with. I think just be mad because my voice is so decadent. I'm setting a precedent. No mistakes and no accident. We ignoring the standard set cause our lowest is passionate. This alone is a classic hit. I'm a verb amongst adjectives. If the industry full of and my words is a laxative. I'm a maniac on these beats. I'm insane and it's not discreet. I'm enraged because y'all ain't see it. I'm spraying on every street, entertaining no whack opinion. Who's saying we not elite? I'm over Balenciagas. I'm changing into my cleats. It's go time. It's showtime. I ain't calming down until this place is a ghost town. Tired of the faking. We bringing back Motown. No sparing this go round. I'm taking no prisoners, so prepare for a showdown.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's time for me. I'm getting looked up, down with the big crowd. They already gone by the size of me. I don't really give a fuck. Put my deuce up,
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. You look at this Steeler defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now it's Fields. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield. Out of bounds.
First down, Jacksonville.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining. First down, here's the run with Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Here we go.
From the 50, here's Fields. This pass down the field for Gibbs. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
And some room to run now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? We just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now the 3rd-year man, Najee Harris. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now Rodgers. And it's caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play with his 13th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Steelers use the only turnover to get on the board first here in this one. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown. touchdown. It's Gay to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive? Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff inside. It's Jackson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Great effort there. With touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Steelers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Gay is on for the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here we go. 2nd and a couple.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They run again on 1st down. Cook.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. You look at this Steeler defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? On second down, here's Gibbs. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Gibbs will try and pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Not at all what they envisioned on third down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And the Jaguars send out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
They almost push them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now. It's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our... You're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
And 22 more yards there and another 1st down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Rodgers now to throw.
That swung out wide to Harris.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The Steelers at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
And he'll get it down this time to 17.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now a give, it's Jackson. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Nelson, the man in motion right. They run again with Jackson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Toss play to Jackson. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up.
Gibbs gets popped, and he loses the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On first down, it's Fields. Oh, going for Sanders downfield. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Steelers are going to get the football back at their own 17. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. After the toss, well executed there to find the space and then eventually get out of bounds after a good gain.
And for the toss play to be that successful, you've got to control the edge. And oftentimes, if you've got a tight end who can do that, that allows that toss play to get called often during a game.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
At the 39-yard line.
Oh, what you got? All right, here we go. This is it. We're counting on you. We're making great.
And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. They start the drive with Cook. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a rock-solid victory.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They run with Jackson out of the gun, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Gregory Rousseau works his way in for the stop and the loss.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
And that is exactly what you needed defensively. It's a long road back from here, but that's a good start to the second half as they force a punting situation and a 4th down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Yeah, Sanders now to return. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
And I don't quite know what's happening here. It's a 1st down, but the field goal team is out onto the field. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
Well, you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Got a man right side, it's Sharp. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Cook able to escape. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Here's Cook again.
Breaks a tackle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 41, here's 2nd and a couple. Play action. It's Fields. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields buying time to his left. It's caught by Sanders. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 23. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do...
Well, he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Dalvin Cook
with career touchdown number 60.
And the Jaguars get a bit closer. Well, it took a while to get their first touchdown of the game, but finally some signs of life here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, that was the burst they'd been lacking all throughout this game, but that was a decisive run. Might have caught the defense a little flat-footed because they hadn't been able to get going in this one, and he was able to take that one all the way to the end zone.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run again with Jackson. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On the give, here comes Jackson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
They'll roll him out right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
They'll run with Jackson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It was Jamal Adams up from his safety spot to make the play behind the line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Here's Jackson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A 9-yard touchdown.
And the Steelers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal, and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This is 2nd and 8. To throw is Fields.
Setting up the screen for Cook. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Fields now to throw.
Sliding out of the pocket. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They run on first down with Jackson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
2nd and 10.
Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch your team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
145 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays, really hurts the team on defense.
They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Again, idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. He's got it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
This was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for the Steelers, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action.